YouTube, what is going on? It's Gino Bonino once again. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is going to be the second of hopefully many videos that are more spec and flip oriented stuff. The idea being that I would like to show you some books that at this point are low echelon key issues that hopefully are going to turn into big and higher priced echelon. The idea being to get them before they get out of price, out of hand. If you can usually get a spec book early in the process before everybody's learned about it or before everybody knows about the thing that it's tied to coming out, you can usually get it much more reasonably priced than something that is well known and that everybody's trying to get at the same time. So that's sort of what I'm doing. I want to make this short and sweet, so I want to get right to it. Today I've got a few books, 2 series, and then 1 book that's a standalone. The idea being, again, that you can check your collection, go to a comic store, maybe find it in the dollar bins or the back issues, find it at a con, get it for a couple dollars, and then maybe turn around at some point and be happy that it's worth $45 or $50 or whatever. That's the case may be. So, again, this is speculative. Anytime you deal with that, it's nothing is ironclad. If I was... if I had a crystal ball, hell, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Vegas. But anyway, that being said, let's get right to it. The first book is not tied to any movie or TV or anything of that nature. It is Thor: God of Thunder, issue number 6. The reason I bring this one up is because there is a possible and probable tie-in with Donny Cates' run on Venom, the latest one, issue number 4 specifically. As a matter of fact, if you look on the cover, you'll notice that the character has a symbiote body tied to him. So don't know exactly the relationship at this point. I do know that it's probably going to bounce a little bit back and forth. There's going to be some cross, as Marvel often does. There will be some cross continuity with Thor: God of Thunder. In fact, the whole series, probably from about 2 to issue 11, would be probably good to get if you can find them in a set or something like that. I know you can get them fairly cheap. So once again, but issue 6 has been verified of having some connection. I don't think it's an origin or anything like that. I think what's going to happen is a character or a weapon or whatever is going to bounce back and forth in continuity. So worth checking out. Cheap book. $1, $2, something like that. The other one is a little bit more expensive. It is Daredevil. There's a 3-book run, 254, 255, 256. This having to do with the origin of Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary, of course, has been teased as being the main or a main villain in the upcoming Iron Fist second series or second season, I should say. The first series got mixed results, I would say. I tended to like it just simply because I expected to be bored at the beginning. What I've noticed with these series that have to do with superheroes is a lot of times people want to get right to the superhero stuff, and what they need to do is they're trying to kind of get new viewers on board, people that aren't familiar with the series and things of that nature. So for that reason, they'll often flesh out the characters a little bit. And that is what turns a lot of people off, because they want stuff that's exciting right away. And what they're doing is trying to show you who's related to who and how their histories mingled and things of that nature. And I think that's what Iron Fist suffered from. Of course, and then there was the cultural thing of people being freaked out about, it wasn't really an Asian actor and things of that nature. But really, they stayed true to the series. I mean, Danny Rand was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude. He wasn't Asian. So I think it would have been miscast in this case to have made him such. But I think an Asian actor would have done fine, But it's just, I think they're trying to stay true to the to the comic books. But anyway, having said that. Issue 254 I showed you. 255 I don't have, and then this is the way 256 looks. If you have it in your collection, this was the last book of the 3-book arc, the first, second, and third appearance of Typhoid Mary. Third one has been well known. Probably you've heard this many times, but I still want to show it just in case. I like myself to see covers, because then often I can If I go to a con or something, I can look and scan books real easy. I don't have to kind of dig and whatnot. And it looks like this. This is Wonder Woman issue 7. This is the first appearance of Barbara Minerva, played by Kristen Wiig in the upcoming movie, Wonder Woman movie. And notable because she's going to play Cheetah in issue 7. She is, it's her first appearance, first civilian appearance, and then in issue 9, she takes the mantle of Cheetah in costume, or anyway, that's the way it looks as well. So again, I bring that up simply because Wonder Woman is definitely in production. Actually, there's been set pictures with Kristen Wiig as Barbara Minerva that have hit the web and stuff like that. Nobody's seen her in costume yet, but they have seen her in sort of street clothes, everyday clothes. As far as me goes, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, it has pretty much been verified that they're going to be shooting Swamp Thing here in my hometown. I'm hoping to get a little bit more information, see if I can find where the locations, possibly do some extra work. We'll see how it works. You never know until they actually start casting who they're going to get, and even if they need extras. I mean, a lot of times the reason that they pick this area is because there's a lot of swamps and forests and things like that. They can make it look like anything here. Also, there's a huge water tank in the movie studio that's here, one of the biggest ones in the entire country. So if they're doing a lot of water stuff, or if they do a lot of swamp stuff, Swamp Thing, that's sort of why they use this location as much as they do. So maybe the reason I bring this up is it might not be stuff that they use a lot of extras for. Usually extras are for things like cities and restaurants and whatnot. Typically forest stuff is pretty sparsely acted, just the 1 or 2 characters, things like that. But we'll see. Another thing is I am headed to Wisconsin. I'm going to drive and pick up my proper collection. My collection has been sitting there since I've lived here, and I feel a little bit at a disadvantage because often I'll have books in there that are blowing up and I get bummed out, and I can't really explain to somebody, go and get this issues and send them to me and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I think the best thing to do is go get my books. And what I want to do is kind of do a little blog about it, my drive, and the entire process of getting them, show you my collection once I get there, and then the process of getting it home and stuff like that. If nothing else, just to kind of do a record for myself. But anyway, so that's what's coming up. I'm heading out in about a week. Tomorrow I'm actually going to a con in Raleigh, North Carolina, SuperCon. There's a lot of creators there. I'll maybe get some video from there as well. And that's it, guys. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And keep collecting. Keep doing what you're doing, guys. It's an exciting time to be a comic book collector. It really is. I mean, there's a lot going on. It seems almost like it's overwhelming sometimes because you can't keep up. And sometimes the best thing to do is just take a breath and chill and enjoy what you got and all that. Don't try to keep up with everything. I have to say that to myself often. Dude, just chill. But again, it is an exciting time to be a collector. I mean, it seems like, especially now, people talk about how everything's blowing up, movies and all that, and comic books aren't. And what I say to that is, that's okay. For those of us that are buying books, that includes me and you, that's good. You don't want books in everybody's hand. You want to have these key issues sitting in your back boxes. So 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when these things are completely bananas, you were smart enough to go and be the one that went and bought them. And yeah, it's expensive. I mean, at $4, $5, $6 a pop, it's real easy to spend a couple $100s at a comic book store. But once again, and it's not just financial. I think they're doing there's a lot going on right now. I don't know if I've done this for a while, and I'm telling you, a lot of new, there's a lot of new first appearances. There's a lot of new storylines and stuff like that I think is going to affect comic book universes for years and years and years to come. So I'm telling you, this is an exciting time to collect books. So And don't get discouraged, don't get bummed out, you know, just keep doing what you're doing. And I can tell you straight up, it's going to be an exciting time. You're going to be proud of yourself 10, 15, 20 years from now when you look at your collection and you discover that you've got some smoking hot books in there. And that's all I can say. Enjoy them, you know, read them, but take care of them, and don't get discouraged and throw them out. Too many people made that mistake. They said, oh my God, I expected this collection to be worth, you know, X. And then all of a sudden it wasn't worth X. And in 5 years they just said, the heck with it, I need a room. And they threw them out. So don't do that. Don't throw out your stuff. Trust me, everything has its day. So that's the best advice I can give you. I mean, there's, you know, how many times did I say to myself I was discouraged because my Venom lethal protectors or my Spider-Man 361s weren't blowing up like I thought they would. And all you got to do is be patient. Just be patient, and it'll eventually happen. And that's all I can tell you guys. So that's my 2 cents. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the hobby. Keep supporting one another. And that's it, guys. So once again, thanks for tuning in. It's Gino Bonino. I will talk to you later. Happy hunting, and I am out. Bye-bye.